Okay, so I'm. Hey, everybody, we're gonna get started. We want to thank you all for coming out. We are going to gain some valuable information concerning improving our health through what God has already blessed us to have, and that's our own blood. How about that? So we just want to get you prepared, your minds, your hearts, your thoughts concerning what we are pushing and why we're pushing for you to know the power of your blood type. Everybody in agreement? Yeah. All right. So, do everybody here, guess and all, do you know your blood type?
Yes. No.
Some people don't, and guess what? It's okay. Because that's why we're here. We're here to help empower you in a way that you can know your blood type and know what to do with knowing your blood type. That will help you with your health in your near future. What about that? Everybody excited? I am very excited. I'm happy to be a part of this because God has truly blessed us to be on the right side of the mountain at the right time. For real. Some people don't even get to climb over the hill, but a lot of us, through what we've learned through this company, are able now to climb mountains and actually go over them because of what we've learned, what we've been introduced to, and just being able to be coachable. So I am one. I think I was supposed to have been disabled at 42. I am getting ready to retire in about 7 months. And I still have all my limbs. I'm healthy. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really excited about being free and being able to walk, talk, move around instead of just driving up and down after retirement. You know, I've worked for the Postal Service for 31 years, and most people don't even get to see their retirement. And that's very sad. So what we're doing here at Akana is very powerful. And it doesn't have an age on it, because I have seen people around here in their 80s and 70s and all of those people running marathons. And I mean, age is truly nothing but a number. It's what you make it. That's what I found in my life. But I'm very grateful to have been introduced to these beautiful founders, especially our CEO, Melissa Boston, who constantly stay ahead of health and things that bring forth to our community, to us, our people, and enrich us as if we were rich. I actually feel rich because things that we have in this company, most people don't even get introduced to. So I'm very excited. I hope you guys online is excited and you're ready for your hearts to be filled with things that would actually help you and take you further. That gives you longevity in your life and you're able to live past retirement. So with no further ado, I want to bring our wonderful CEO, Melissa Boston, up before you. Let's give her a hand, everybody. I appreciate you.
That was so much taller with my heels on. And I wasn't gonna put my heels on because let me tell you something. Last week we was almost packed out because we announced it, we promoted it. This week, this happened because Crystal Robinson made a phone call to me and says, well, what are we gonna do on Thursday? I'm like, well, what are we gonna do? I said, y'all wanna meet? Let's meet, right? And so I don't think it got promoted, but the ones of you who showed up, I want y'all to give yourselves a round of applause. Because sometimes you have to understand when things are happening, it's not always the crowd that shows up. Just understand that. If that was the case, we would have been rich a long time ago, right? It's kind of like when you see everybody going this way, what do they tell you? You probably want to go that way. Because tonight, many people are choosing to be comfortable, right? And we don't get rich sitting on our couch, right? We don't get healthy just sitting on our couch. And tonight, the ones who drove to be here tonight, you chose to be uncomfortable because whatever you sacrificed to be here was worth an applause. And I want to just say tonight it's about you. And that's why I put these heels on because I said I had 3 pairs of shoes. I had one for less than 10 people. I had one for 30. And then I have these heels for if I'm over 50, right? But I put my heels on anyway because I'm going to treat y'all like we got 1 million people in the room because I can tell the right people showed up. That's what it's about, right? The right people that shows up. And I'm going to give you guys my story. Because I don't know if you guys, who in here knows your blood type? You might know your blood type, right? If you don't know it, don't feel bad. You might know it, right? As a blood type A, I know Terry, one of my blood type A sisters from another mister, right? But we grew up, I know my whole life, and I did not know my blood type. I didn't even know blood type mattered. But the reality is I almost lost my life twice. And later I realized it's because as a blood type A living in America, where it's predominantly blood type O, we're eating the wrong diet. We're eating this heavy animal diet that our bodies aren't able to produce enough stomach acids. And that's not me telling you that, that's science. Science tells us that. And that's why a lot of our A groups, when we meet them, we're very similar. It's like, where you been all my life, right? These are the vegans, the vegetarians. They're very health conscious. Kathy Thomas, another one, which is like, don't, my A sister back there, right? Because it's a real deal and it's critical because if we want to help our kids, because sometimes we can be a type O, but we give birth to a grandson that we might think is a type A, right? And she knows her grandson is A. And as a result of that, if we knew early on how to protect them, how to keep them healthy, wouldn't we want to know this information? And so that's what tonight's about. It's about really bringing awareness so we can pass this information on to the next generation and break this generational cycle of disease. Because I don't know if you guys have experienced a lot of premature death in your family, in your community. I mean, anybody in here can relate to somebody they know dying just way too young, right? And so we want to break that cycle. We want to end that tonight. So I want to first start by identifying a part of the problem. I mean, this is a big part of the problem, but we know we have something called the original diet. So what does that original diet look like? Fruits and vegetables. I mean, God didn't create an oven. We did. Man created the oven. We didn't just come into this world, right, with ovens and kitchens, right? And so we ate from the dirt of the land. We ate from the garden, right? We ate from what we grew. And so that was our original diet. And that's why when they look back at our ancestors, they don't see cancer, they don't see tumors, they don't see fatty livers in those, they don't see any of the issues we fall victim to because of this new diet. And what is this new diet? It's this diet of processed food, where our kids can't even eat a vegetable sometimes. I mean, think about even today, what did your diet look like? Did you get enough fruits and vegetables? Working on it, right? I mean, it's always work in progress, but the reality is as a result of that, we've now given birth to the first generation of kids who they're telling us they're going to live a shorter life than their parents. And that's never happened in the history of the world. And so there's something called the silent killer, and that's heart disease. We know that in 2020, 700,000 people died from heart disease. We know about the pandemic, but that same year, look at how many people passed. And do you know that heart disease is 90% preventable? which means there's 630,000 people who died in 2020 that didn't have to. And when we think about heart disease, the reason why they call it a silent killer, because here's the thing, about 1 in 5 heart attacks are silent, which means you had a heart attack and don't even know you had one. But the damage is already done, which is why for many people, the first symptom of heart disease is death. And that's something if we can prevent it, wouldn't we want to prevent it? And so we know that there's an alarming statistic with our kids. We know that when we look at the kids that are 14 to 19 years old, they're showing as much as 40% plaque arteries, right? Arteries that are full of plaque. And here's a significant age that everyone in the room should know. But do you know that there's a significance when you turn age 45? Now, if you're already knowing the answer, because I gave it last week, don't give it away. But did anybody know the significance of turning age 45? Take a guess at it. Anyone know? Give you the answer. You are now more than twice as likely to die from heart disease. And what does that mean? That means here we are, sometimes on the outside, looking like the picture of health. But on the inside, we're a ticking time bomb, which means there's an artery that's clogged, and we don't even know it's clogged. And if the artery is clogged to the heart, that's a heart attack. If it's clogged to the brain, that's called a stroke. But if we can prevent this from happening, wouldn't we want to prevent it? Because the reality is, again, there's many people that look beautiful on the outside. But guess what? We don't know what the cell is going wrong. What's going on the cellular level? And that's why we can bury our cousins. I know my cousin Rodney looked like a GQ model, pick him out of a magazine. 46 years young, guess what? Dropped dead of a massive stroke. In fact, they put him on life support, but all his organs were already shutting down. Major, at 46 years young. And guess what happened? A few years later, his brother, Gerald, passed away from, guess what, a heart attack. So a lot of times we see these patterns run in families, but a lot of times there's a deficiency with sometimes what we're eating, sometimes genes we were passed on, but most of it's our lifestyle. But if we knew that and just fixed it, and now we can have a longer quality of life, wouldn't we want to know this information, right? And so here's the top 5 health concerns that are impacting our community. The number one thing is we don't even know our blood type. Do we know our blood type? If you go to other places, people know their blood type. We don't know our blood type. Your blood type is a more reliable measure of your identity than race, culture, or geography. It is a genetic blueprint for who you are and a guide to how you can live most healthfully. So we are committed to helping over 1 million people over the next 18 months learn their blood type. There are 4 different blood types. A's, if there's any A's in the room, right? We're the agrarians, right? There's the B's in the room, right? There's the O's, right? There's the ABs, no ABs, I already know. You're an AB. Wow. You are modern, you are rare, and you are complex. That's the AB. You're the enigma. Your nature's newest blood type. So that's pretty powerful. We're going to talk about that because your blood type is the fingerprint that your brother tells you that all the time. She's right. Okay, very cool. That's very,
She wasn't wrong.
she wasn't wrong, right? She knew you from birth, right? So this identifies you as surely as your DNA. That's why when we meet O's, sometimes we know they're O.
Yeah.
We meet B's, sometimes we know they're bougie B's, right? We meet the A's and we know who you are, right? We know each other based on our blood type, even before you tell me your blood type. And so the blood types explain. We have the A's, who are the agrarian society, farming and livestock. Even though we had animals, we didn't eat the animals typically. We might eat a little chicken, which is why we can tolerate chicken, but we didn't eat the beef. We didn't eat the pork, right? So we didn't have the enzymes for those type of foods, but we would sometimes have the byproducts, the cheese or some of the dairy products or eggs, right? So we're leading to more stable communities. They are naturally inventive and sleepless, right? We got to get the bed A's, okay? As the first immigrants, they adapted to an agrarian diet and lifestyle, developing cooperative personalities to thrive in crowded communities. And then we have our B's. B stands for balance. And as Krista will tell you, it also stands for bougie. I know you have some bougie B's in your life, right? And they're bougie, right? And that's okay. We know who they are and they're fabulous. We love them. But they developed as humans migrated north into colder, harsher regions like Pakistan and India. These assimilators adapted to new climates and diverse populations, embodying nature's effort to balance the tensions of the mind with the immune system's demands. And then O is for old. the oldest blood type, the original blood type, originated from Africa, migrating to Europe and Asia in search of game. What's game? Animals. Y'all was on the hunt. So that's why we call y'all what? Hunters and gatherers, right? I mean, when you meet an O, you know an O, right? I mean, they're not afraid to just go up to you and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Give me some of that steak. No, I'm just kidding. These early humans were hunters and gatherers, top survivors in the food chain, with a strong and fierce immune system, ready to destroy any threat, whether friend or foe. Me and Tracy play good cop, bad cop all the time. Who's the good cop? I'm the good cop, y'all know. Tracy is the bad cop, because I already know. She's gonna go toe to toe, and it's gonna get all resolved, okay? AB is for modern. So this is the AB in the house. Rare and found in less than 5% of the population. It emerged from the intermingling of the type A Caucasians with the type B Mongolians. As the newest blood type, it symbolizes modern life, complex and unsettled. It is a delicate offspring between a rare union between the tolerant type A and the once barbaric, but yet balanced type B. And so now we want to look at what happens with our immune system. So we have this immune system that's constantly trying to see, is this a friend of the body or a foe of the body? So let's think about it this way. If you're a type B and you're not supposed to eat chicken, but let's say you're eating chicken 3 times a week, your immune system has to fight off that chicken every time you eat it. And that's why sometimes you eat it and you get mucus, right? You don't feel well. So now a pandemic comes, and here it is, something as little as COVID. COVID for many people was not even like a cold. Some people didn't even have a symptom, but this little virus became this monstrous virus inside of certain blood types. Guess who survived the blood type or the virus more than any other blood type? Type O's. Their immune system was able to handle it. But the B's, the ABs and the A's, eating this old diet, eating chicken that not supposed to eat, now this virus comes at you, and now your body doesn't not react to it, it overreacts to it. So the reason why so many people die from COVID is their immune system overreact to it. It created what they call the cytokine storm, which it now started killing your own organs because of the autoimmune effect that COVID presented. And so when we think about our blood type, it is the key to the body's entire immune system. It controls the influences of viruses, bacteria, infections, chemicals, stress, and the entire assortments of invaders and conditions that might compromise your immune system. It determines how food interacts with your cells. So if you're having struggles losing weight, maybe gaining weight, it's most likely because you're eating the wrong diet. When we eat against our blood type, those foods contain lectins that are protein-based, that are incompatible with our blood type antigen, which basically means there's something in our body that reacts with it in a negative way, creating inflammation, right? And that inflammation results in targeting specific organs, targeting body immune systems. So now all of a sudden we're under attack from something that just is simply against our blood type. We create highly carcinogenic substances when we constantly eat these protein lectins that our body's not designed to eat. So now you might think, because you might have somebody like my grandfather. My grandfather is a B blood, like Miss Dr. Betty, okay? He's 96. My grandfather drives every day. He goes to my grandmother's grave. My grandmother type O, strong immune system, but she passed at 91 from heart disease. But he goes visits her grave every day at 96. Sharp mind. He has a sharper mind than people that are 30 or 40. My grandfather regularly stops through McDonald's. Regularly stops through McDonald's, right? Now, mostly it's for the coffee, because he can't live without his coffee. So I get it on, honestly, I can't live without my coffee either. But the point is, he ate most of his life knowing his blood type, but not knowing the consequences of eating against it. Thank God he doesn't really care for chicken. Thank God he prefers something like a steak. Now, you might think a steak, is that better? Well, the Mormons, who live longer than the vegetarians or just as long, they eat a rare steak once a month. My grandfather is that rare steak person. He likes blood on his steak. But guess what? If you don't like to see blood, don't eat it. Because steak is the #1 reason in the beef industry for all the colon cancers. They said beef has caused more deaths than all the world wars combined, y'all, okay? But the people like the Mormons and my grandfather who eat it rare, like we don't like it, they don't have the same problems because when it's rare, it just slides through the system. When it's overcooked, guess what? It stays in the pocket of the colon. And so as a result, his body is sloughing off 95% of those bad lectins. So he can eat different things that's not impacting him like that. But there's 5% of those bad foods that are going into the bloodstream. And guess what they're doing? It's destroying our red blood cells. It's destroying our white blood cells. And over time, our immune system becomes compromised. And that's why we have to learn how to eat better. And what they say in the book, Eat Right for Your Blood Type, they say eat 80% of the foods that are for your blood type. And they allow you up to 20% of those who are not. So it's not saying you can't ever have a piece of chicken. It's not saying that you can't ever have an avocado if you're an O blood, but it's saying what you do every day is what's going to take you out. And so these are the consequences. We're going to end up with something called agglutination. It's when all those bacteria clump together, okay? And it creates something called antibodies, agglutinins. And so we have to learn our blood type. We have to break that generational cycle because the power is in our hands to do that. And here's the reality. If they give you the wrong blood, if you're getting a transfusion, do you know that your body can instantly start clotting and it can kill you? So here's my question. If you eat the wrong food, could it slowly be killing us over time? It's a concept we call suicide. We are literally digging our graves with our very fork. And so this is a sample of some of the foods that we should not be eating according to our blood type. So I want y'all to take a very close look at this. And some of y'all might be like Miss Bev did. Miss Bev came in, she looked at the list. She says, I don't want to be any of those blood types. Because she's like all of that food, right? But this is the reality. And again, it's not what you do some of the time, it's what you do every day. And so if you're type A, knowing that tomatoes are not good for you, would you be willing to eat less tomatoes, right? As a type B, look at that chicken, avocados, black beans, shrimp. As a type O, catfish, right? And how many O's love catfish nuggets, oranges, white wine? I mean, think about it, Moscato. But guess what? It's not on your list if you're a blood type O. Do you know your blood type? Not yet? Okay, well, we can help you with that. Okay, that's what we're talking about today, learning our blood type and our ABs. And so you saw your list already, didn't you, Will? So when you look at that list, what do you feel? You eat all of that, right?
Oh my God. Favorite is shrimp.
And your favorite is
I
shrimp.
stopped eating shrimp about a year ago.
Why did you stop eating it?
It like blows you up.
See,
And
because-
then chicken was 2 days ago.
you gave up chicken 2 days ago.
Well,
What happened with chicken?
I think chicken is not, I just can't do it.
You see that?
Yeah.
And he's an AB blood, right?
And then I like avocado. I just had black beans about 5 days ago. And bananas sometimes don't sit right, so I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. Is that powerful? Yep.
yeah, the word.
And that's the reality, guys. And so here's the thing. There's a book. It was released in 1996. And that book is called Eat Right for Your Blood Type. And the doctor is Dr. Peter J. Dinamo. In fact, I'm in conversation with his company right now. We're working to get him to come and speak, okay? Because he's a blood type A, and I can only relate to him because as a blood type A, I can imagine what he went through to be able to get to that book. The suffering he went through, eating the wrong diet, and just had to figure out, why is this diet killing me? But maybe he had people around him that were completely healthy. And so why are we just learning about this? I mean, here you are. How young are you?
67.
Oh my God, I was like, and you selling 39. But so you're probably wondering, so you're 39, okay? And you're just now realizing some of that food we're eating was never for your blood type, right? So why are we just learning this? Why aren't they teaching this, right? And so if it's not taught in medical school, if it's not promoted by big pharma, guess what? It's not promoted in the United States. Because the reality is it's big business that equals the big profits. And in this country, unfortunately, it's profits over people. We know that in Europe, a lot of what we allow, they don't allow over there. I mean, it's all fresh gardens, fresh vegetables, very healthy community. We're the ones with all these dialysis centers. We had a lady today and she drives dialysis patients. And she said, do you know they now have this 4-story dialysis center? She says, I go to the Caucasian neighborhoods, I go to the Indian neighborhoods. Only in our community, our dialysis centers, almost every other corner, 4 stories high. They're building this for African Americans. Why is that? Because they know we are the one community that are willing to overconsume those animals. We think it's the sugar that's taking us out. No, it's that fried Popeyes and the what do they call it? The JJ fit, all of that stuff. But we can't give up, okay? And that's the reality. So we got to take control because we know they're willing to manipulate us for their gain. We know they did it with cigarettes. There was a time they told you cigarettes are going to make you less stressful. The doctors are smoking, just smoke. Everybody smoke, okay? And now everybody got addicted, okay? And then it became cancer. And then trans fats. I don't know if you guys remember when they tried to tell us margarine was better than butter. So I remember at my house, we had all this Imperial Gold margarine everywhere. Y'all might all have that Imperial Gold margarine everywhere. And then they said, oh, we have to outlaw that. They didn't even tell us they banned it. All of a sudden it just disappeared. If you do the research, they outlawed it because that Imperial margarine was going straight into the arteries and causing people to literally have strokes prematurely. It has trans fats in it. The 5Gs. Oh, it's no big deal. But who do they put the 5Gs in? What neighborhoods? Our neighborhood. They put them in our neighborhood because, again, we don't protest against it. We let it happen. And now they have this new type of diabetes called type 3 diabetes, where the kids are literally converting to a diabetic state because of the 5G energy. It's crazy. And then we have these genetically modified foods, right? I mean, we hear about this. Back then, they made it sound, oh, we're going to just create food in the lab. Do they know more than God? You understand? There's intelligence they can't recreate because it's infinite wisdom in our creative. We're limited as men. And so now they're creating food that's causing people to have tumors because it's deficient. It's not sufficient for life, okay? And then we have milk that they promote everywhere. Milk does a body good. Just drink your milk. You know, have your Wheaties every day, put some milk in it. And now we know it's causing all this inflammation. It's just not good for us. And we're the only species on the planet that we keep drinking the milk of another animal beyond infancy, okay? And so what countries adhere to this blood type philosophy? When the book first was published, we can only imagine the very first country that widely adapted it was Japan. Okay, Japan, do you know 99.9% of people know their blood type in Japan? It's a requirement. In fact, they won't even marry you if they don't know your blood type. What blood type are you? I mean, what I want to deal with, right? What am I dealing with? And in the United States, we were like all against this blood type. Like, no, we don't need to know about the blood type. It's all about just eating healthy. They want to confuse us. If I'm a type A and my stomach acids are lower, it just makes common sense. I don't have to be a rocket science to know I should not eat as much animals as a type O. That's common sense, but they'll tell you, oh no, just eat the same diet as a type O. And look at the life expectancy. If you go to Japan, their life expectancy on average is 84.6 years. Here in this country, the life expectancy is 76. But what if we're African American? We pay a death tax. I mean, we pay a death tax of over 4 years earlier than our Caucasian sisters and brothers, just because we don't know some of this information. And so it's important that we teach this so that we recognize we have control over this and we can create our own blue zones. You guys know what a blue zone is, right? Those are the areas in the world where they live on average 86, on average 89. On average, you see people in their 90s, you see people above 100, and they're not in nursing homes. They're still exercising. They're building community. Elders are revered in those countries, not put away in some nursing home. And so we've got to recognize we can do better. And there's so much evidence. We have a lot of evidence in our own community. You'll hear some of those testimonials, but we have to follow the blood type diet because when we do that, it's going to protect us from common viruses and infections. It's going to allow us to take a stand against life-threatening diseases like COVID. They tell us already there's new things coming, whether it's the monkeypox, whether it's the next strain of COVID. And guess what? You can be your own immune system by doing what? Eating the right thing. You can be your own vaccine by creating the right environment. And so we want to create an immune system that's able to withstand whatever comes at us because they'll make you so scared of it. Then you look at the stats and you're like, oh, it's monkeypox. That seems very bad. But then they'll say something like, well, it's like 1% of people. And you're like, okay. But then we get so scared. But guess what? If we're not that person eating healthy, we might be that 1%, right? So we got to do better. And so oxidation is the number 2 cause of what's holding us back in this country. And what is oxidation? Well, researchers have finally identified one of the most important contributors to heart disease, wrinkles, cancer, arthritis, and many other problems associated with getting older. And what is that? It's called oxidation. We need something called antioxidants. What are antioxidants? Our fruits and vegetables are loaded with plant compounds. These compounds are known as phytonutrients. These have antioxidant abilities. And some of these actually even disable cancer-causing cells. And the reason why this is critical to talk about, because if our kids are out there and not getting just certain fruits and vegetables every day, we're setting them up for this new reality, which is they're going to have a shorter life expectancy than us. So we got to get back to the garden. We got to either grow our own fruits and vegetables or go find somebody growing vegetables. I mean, I know Terry's hooked us up with a phenomenal farm. Is it on the south side over there? Where we can go get awesome vegetables and freshly grown right in your neighborhood. And so now let's look at a number 3 cause. This is one that's pretty scary, because when I say we have a fat crisis in this country, most people think we have too many overweight people. That's what I'm talking about. Obesity is bad, but what's worse is being skinny fat, where you have a fat problem and you don't even know it. Right? Where your arteries are clogged and you don't even know it. Okay. And so there's a deficiency in what we call omega-3 fatty acids. Fatty acids are what they call essential. When it's essential, it means the body cannot produce it. If your body cannot produce it, that means we have to eat it. And if we don't eat it, we're going to be what? Deficient. So let's look at this. Let's say this is omega-6 fatty acid. And now to get it in your body, you have to do what? Eat it. And guess what we're doing too much of with omega-6? Eating too much omega-6, because omega-6 is bad fat. And why is bad fat essential for the body? Because if you have something that happens like a scrape or a cut, you need inflammation to heal. So that little bit of bad fat from the avocado, from the walnut, is actually essential to expedite the healing process. But we get a lot of that because we're getting it at every fast food restaurant. Every time we cook food and fry food, we're getting way too much omega-6. So now we got this omega fatty acids that's essential that we're not getting any of. And that's called omega-3. Now, omega-3 is what's preventing depression. It's preventing anxiety. It's preventing Alzheimer's. It's preventing cancer. It's preventing prostate issues. But guess what? We don't get any of it. So what I tell people all the time is this country needs an oil change. See, some guys will walk in here more concerned about their Tesla, right, than they care about their body. And so I'm like, we need an oil change. Why? Because if you look at all the risk factors right now, many of the autopsies we're witnessing is just because they were deficient of a fatty acid. Every cell in your body needs fat, every cell, every single cell. But we've never been trained on fat. We've been trained fat is bad, going a low-fat diet, not knowing that we need walnuts, we need flaxseed oil, we need salmon, sardines, mackerel. Those are omega-3 fats that feed our brain, reduce the violence, reduce the anxiety, take away the depression. So if we're not feeling well, it's because we have deficiencies inside. And then we have this gut, right? This microbiome. And understand that 70% of our immune system is in this gut. It's right here. But what are we feeding that gut? I had a lady today, it was so funny. She's on the cleanse, Margaret. This is her 4th day. And she said she was doing so well, 4 days on the cleanse. I'm down 9 pounds. And then all of a sudden she's in her car. And she said, oh my God. She said, something was in me. It kept saying, go to Wendy's. And she said, an upgrade, get the big ball, get the Baconator. I mean, she's trying to get out. And then she said, but something came and said, don't do that. Don't, it's like the good cop and the bad cop, right? And then she calls me and I'm like, I'm glad you called me. Okay. I said, because you have something in your body called ghrelin. Ghrelin is a hormone that makes our cravings out of control. I call ghrelin gremlins because you wake up wanting to eat everything in the house. And I told her, these are the gremlins that are dying off. And because you're about to destroy them, they're fighting for survival. They know as soon as you eat that Baconator, you're going to repopulate. It's going to repopulate. They're like, we get to live and not die, right? And so we got to get our fiber, our prebiotics, our probiotics. We got to detoxify, because once we're in charge of our gut and we don't have gremlins running around, we don't have the same cravings. That's why some people can walk right past all that and not let it faze them. So we got to change out our gut health, guys. And then finally, and this part here, it always kind of grosses me out, but I think it's important for you to understand, because at the end of the day, 99% of people in this country, they're telling us have parasites. I'm like, what the heck? We're getting it from so many different things, right? So we got to get those parasites out of our body, because here's what recent autopsies are finding. Recent autopsies have revealed the presence of parasites in various organs. including the brain, liver, and lungs. Even in people who they didn't even suspect to be infested, right? Their findings suggest that parasites can live in the body without causing noticeable symptoms. So it's what they call a silent invasion that gradually impairs your organ function over time. And so it's even creating mental health problems, cognitive decline. And so it's critical that we get those parasites out. We have a true testimonial. This lady, and she's not here today, but she's registered on she's on the Zoom, I think. Valerie, you're out there. Valerie actually was about to get surgery where they're going to remove a part of her intestines, right? And do you know, after probably about 9 to 11 days on the cleanse, she passed the blockage. And guess what the blockage was? Parasites. So can you imagine sometimes things that are blocking you are things living in you that aren't paying any rent? And I'm like, if you ain't paying rent, you got to go, okay? You got to go. And so the disclaimer is this: product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease. The information provided herein is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for advice from your physician or other healthcare professionals. If you're pregnant, nursing, taking medication, have a medical condition, please consult your healthcare provider before using any nutritional supplements. We know that individual results may vary. And so what I want to share with you now is something that we know is a game changer. You know, I've had a chance to represent multi-billion-dollar companies. I've had a chance to build businesses in 46 countries around the world. And what I've come to understand is when you have really phenomenal products, it's a game changer. One of the reasons why our company exists now, 6 years almost in business, okay? Because we have phenomenal products that aren't just there to make the company money, it's there to help make people healthy. Every product we design is within our community in mind. It's getting the best ingredients, the most organic, the most purest, none of the fillers. And so what we were able to do is work with a brilliant team and come up with the world's first product that actually addresses those top 5 concerns. Can you imagine that? I mean, look at this. So your blood type support, you need blood type support for AB. Guess what? The product does that. Your antioxidant protection, it does that. Omega-3 fatty acids, it does that. Your gut health, your probiotics, your prebiotics, all the things that to detoxify, it does that. And then getting rid of the parasites. So in one product, we can accomplish our goals. We call it flat belly fuel. In fact, we say break the cycle, fuel your future. Chocoberry fusion. I know Crystal loves saying, I just love saying chocoberry. And people have been making phenomenal recipes. I know, Crystal, you put the oat milk and the banana, and she's like, it's so delicious. It's so good. It's so delicious. Even your son and all her resistant, they're like, oh my God, we love it. So we knew we can't just bring something very healthy. It had to taste good, right? You have to wake up every day wanting to put it in your body, okay? And so introducing the world's first meal replacement, custom formulated for your blood type to help communities build generational health and create their own blue zone. And if you look at the label on the back, it talks about aronia berry, and it talks about how we stack up against other antioxidants. Everybody in here, I'm sure you heard of noni juice, Tahitian noni. Some of y'all might have been in noni, right? It's a great product. But let's look at the score for noni compared to even blueberries, okay? So the first one on the list says noni, and the ORAC value is about 1,500. That's pretty good. It's going to do some work. If you look at blueberries, oh my goodness, over 4,500 is the ORAC score. So really awesome. If you look at aronia berries, even the standard berry, okay, we're talking about over 16,000. So let's compare. Noni, 1,500. Aronia, look at that, 16,000. That's awesome, right? But look at our particular aronia berry. By using harvesting methods that are proprietary, we're able to get 2.5 times more antioxidants. And so our product delivers 40,000 compared to what? 1,500. And they became a multi-billion-dollar company. I don't know about y'all, but that fact right there, right, got me flat out excited. Because our vision is to build a world where every individual has access to the nutrition and resources they need to thrive, leading to healthier, wealthier, and more resilient communities. We aspire to be a catalyst for global change, fostering a future free of the limitations of disease and poverty, where every corner of the globe flourishes. And so we want to create what we call blue zone communities. Can you imagine, Margaret, creating a blue zone family right? Dr. Betty creating a blue zone family for those precious little grandchildren that are running around the office, so beautiful. But now they can have a life where we break that cycle. So let's envision a world where our kids can actually thrive. And so it starts with detoxifying. And so we have something called our flat belly bitters. You'll learn a little bit more about this through the testimonials, but this is going to boost your digestion. It's going to help clean out the liver. It's going to help get out that unhealthy fat. It's going to help alkaline the body, improve that microbiome. So it does all of that with a simple 4-day detox. In fact, you're going to need to know what we call your yes list, right? You saw the stuff you couldn't eat, Will, but how would you like to see the stuff you can? Are you excited about that, right? So we can be doom and gloom about, I have to give this up. But if I can give you a trade-off, if I can show you 150 of the most delicious foods that you can eat every single day for the rest of your life, do you think 150 is enough for you? That's plenty, right? So we're going to give you the good news tonight, okay? And so you want to get your blood type starter kit. When you get this blood type starter kit, you're going to not only get your blood type test kit, and if you know your blood type, you can share that with somebody else so they can learn their blood type. You're going to get your bitters. You're going to get your detox meal plan, so you'll know exactly how to eat for your blood type. A sample meal replacement, so you can sample some of this phenomenal fuel. You're going to get your individual digital download. So you're going to see all this yes list and all the foods that are medicine for your body. Now, one thing that we offer is a comprehensive health test, because a lot of times you can start in a healthy program, but you're wondering, well, I feel a little better, but how do I know that it really worked, right? And so we like to show you that documentation beats conversation. If we can show you thousands of people who, by using our program, have gotten healthier, right? They came off of medications, like Tracy said, reversed heart disease. Wouldn't you want to do something that they're doing, but you want to see your own results? Their results are good for them, but you want to see what you look like. And so our comprehensive test, it's going to test your omega-3 levels. So you can see where you're at with your fatty acids. It's going to test your gut. How strong is your gut? It's going to let you know your deficiencies. There's one vitamin that's so critical to your health that if you don't have this one vitamin, it can cause everything from Alzheimer's to cancer. And guess what? It's one vitamin that we just did not know that we need. Wouldn't you like to know if you're deficient of that one vitamin so that you can know to make adjustments? It's going to look at your heart, your liver, and your kidneys so that you can see this comprehensive report of really what's happening in your body. Now, this is a $1,000 value, because if you went to the hospital right now and did a test that gave you, you might be looking at maybe $10,000, right? So $1,000 is great, okay? But we have a special where we do it for $189, so you can do this test for $189. That's going to also include your blood type starter kit. So you're going to get your blood test, your bitters, and you're going to get some of the fuel. So that's a really cool deal. But we have something even better. For those of you who are like me, I'm married to an accountant. He likes to look at every dollar, right? Every dollar. And he always wants to save money. Anybody like to save money, right? So we want the best deal possible, okay? And so when you enroll in our auto ship program, and the auto ship program is $59 a month, but it gives you a food-based product. So it kind of takes the place of some of your grocery expense, where you have something you can consume. That's a good price, but your first month, you'll spend $109. The $109 is going to include not only the blood type starter kit, your bitters, a sample of the fuel, a big bag of the fuel, but it's also going to give you that complete comprehensive test. So you get to know exactly what's happening in all the areas of your body. And then guess what? After you finish 120 days, we'll give you another test, and that's complimentary. So it's really like getting 2 tests for $189 each. That's a $400 value that you're going to get for free when you decide to go on auto ship and do the $109 package for enrollment. We have additional products, whether it's CBD, skincare, hair care, weight loss, essential oils. And so as I close it out and bring up some testimonials, I want to leave you with 2 different messages. One of them is this. It is estimated that 1 to 5% of Americans who are aware of their blood type may have experimented with or followed the blood type diet. And when I saw that statistic, it kind of blew me away. So I've been a part of several major market shifts. One of them retired me at the age of 33. I would have been in Buenos Aires, Argentina, learning the tango, but somebody called me up and suggested that I move to Chicago. I'm like, Chicago? What? I'm moving to Argentina. I'm going to retire, right? Because guess what? I call a market shift. And when you catch a market shift, you don't have to be the most savviest person, but guess what? You have to be the person to recognize opportunity, because they tell us that poor means passing over opportunity repeatedly. The average person will be exposed to 2 phenomenal opportunities in their lifetime, but the question is, are you going to recognize it? I don't know if you guys had a chance to be a part of Bitcoin when it was like $600 and we said it was too high. And then it went to $55,000, right? Google, right? It started at $85 a share. I mean, so there's so many opportunities, okay? But look at the blood type process. We want to help 1.5% of the United States. And that's just getting started, guys. 1.5% of the United States. That equals 5 million people, right? So 5 million people we would impact just by targeting 1.5% of the United States. Now let's look at the numbers. And this is where you want to put your business hat on. You know, I know sometimes we can make plenty of money, but if you make more money, we just do what? Donate it to charity, donate it to your kids, right? Donate it to your neighbors. But at the end of the day, if just every person did the minimal, and that's at $50 for just the blood type starter kit, nothing more. That's over $250 million in sales, guys. And we're working with a low number of 1.5%. If 10% of them decided to auto ship, that's over $3 million per month. If 80% of them reject you, Margaret, we have still impacted over 1 million families. And that's why we say this is the opportunity of a lifetime. When you look at business, there's something called the Bell's curve. And that basically means you have to know how to recognize something at the right time. See, so many times we get in stuff, but it's way too late. Anybody ever happen to you? You heard people making money, whether it's prepaid league, whatever, right? You get in, dang, I can't even make $1, right? But they have all the people on stage. You see, you don't want to come to the meeting when there's 5,000 people in the room. I've been on stage in China at the Cotai Arena, the same place Beyonce performs, at 14,000 people in the audience while we're on stage talking to them about opportunity. That's not the time to join. But unfortunately, that's the time when most people join because they see the hype, they see the excitement, but it takes somebody who's an early adapter to see the vision before it's a reality, right? And so there's a Bell's curve that tells you when to join companies like this, because the first 100,000 to 150,000 involved in the business will earn up to 80% of the wealth of the company. That's a fact. And that's a fact according to the Harvard Business School. So you must select a company that's at least 18 months old. We know that 90% of companies fail their first 18 months. Not only are we past 18 months, we're past 5 years. They tell us that 98% of companies fail what? Their first 5 years. That means we've already beat out 98% of companies here in this country, guys. And we started this company literally, I would say, with the hope and a prayer, not with millions of dollars, but we had an idea that made sense. And when something makes sense, you can't deny it. It's going to go out and do what we've done. And that's millions of dollars in spite of that. According to Harvard Business School, if a company has less than 500,000 people, it's a great opportunity. If less than 100,000 people, it's an opportunity of a lifetime. How many customers do we have, Margaret? Do you know? We have 32,000 customers, right? 32,000, right? I know you added, but that's where we're going. So here's what she just professed, and that's the truth. Right now, we have 32,000 customers, and most people don't even know our name, y'all. We haven't even scratched the surface. But just like you just said, 320,000 customers is coming. That's what we call 10Xing the business, guys. This is truly the opportunity of a lifetime. And so what I want to do real quick, we're going to bring up a couple of testimonials because I want you to hear from some of our awesome leaders before we close it out. And I'm going to start with you, Terry. You have the most guests tonight. Look at you. I mean, you have like what? All the guests, 4 guests. Go ahead, type A blood. We're going to battle with that. But come on up to the front. I want you to speak to the Zoom and just kind of share with them a little bit about why you're so excited. You have 4 guests here tonight. Yeah, they can see you.
Okay, good. So, hi, everybody. Welcome to our meeting. My journey in wellness started a long time ago, but I would like to say that in 1998, I found out I was a blood type A. And I bought a booklet on blood type A at one of the wellness conventions years ago. And I just put it away. didn't get connected with it. In 2009, I was in another business and I was prospecting someone, and she told me about the blood type. She actually gave me a blood type chart. She showed me her chart. And I said, wow, I'm a blood type A. May I look at this chart? I looked at it, and then I asked her if I could make a copy of it. She let me make a copy of it and bring it back. And I still didn't do anything. Right. But when Melissa and Dr. Prince started talking about the blood type A, I was like, well, the blood type charts and things, I realized I have a chart. Let me show this to Melissa. Melissa saw the chart. She fell in love with it. And what I'm realizing now about blood type A, we love community. So I had a community because in the past, I just kind of ran across it. I didn't have anybody to kind of help guide me. So with this community, I have been taking the time to understand my blood type and eat from my blood type. It's not easy when you have some other habits. And I've been eating, compared to other people, pretty good. But the problem was I was eating out of blood type. And when I was hanging out with my blood type old friends, have some chicken, have some margarita, et cetera, et cetera. And, and somehow I was like, okay, right. Right, because there was nothing else there. I wasn't prepared. But today I can say, since I've been on the blood type diet, I am much stronger. I've let go a lot of the inflammation. When I even started this business, I had a big old belly. Yeah. And that belly has decreased a whole lot. I'm exercising now. I'm understanding, my grandmother died from heart disease. My mom died from heart disease and dementia. And so I'm realizing, you know what? The omega-3s, eating right from my blood type, just getting stronger. I have strengthened myself. And I am so excited. I'm at the right place at the right time. You can't get rid of me, okay?
We love you. We would never get rid of you.
Okay, so I'm excited. And I'm on a mission to share this information to as many people as possible. And, once you find your blood type, I'm going to encourage you, get to the next step. We need coaches. And I'm a certified wellness coach. And I understand my purpose on another level, on a deeper level. And I ain't playing no more. It's over with. I'm done.
Very, very good. Oh, wow, you guys, they're really stepping it up on Zoom. We're up to 28 people watching for a meeting that nobody knew about, right? So this is pretty cool. Hi, guys. So that's awesome. Thank you, Terry. And we might as well bring up our blood type. Oh, Margaret Dorsey, come on up, right? You can tell them about the shake that you've been loving and whatever. Yeah, so you've lost significance. So yeah.
I have lost. I have lost. I want to welcome everybody, and especially on the Zoom. This is so reminiscent of just what Melissa's saying, being in the right place at the right time. I knew nothing about blood type eating until I walked in here, heard it from Melissa and Dr. Prince. So it was like with the bioscan and the blood type, but I went home and just documented everything I should eat as a blood type. Oh, and I got fascinated with it and I never let it go. So that has been one of my main changes in how I started eating, even though I did the bioscans, I did the cleanses, I did the bitters. And then I said, but this blood type eating, there's something really catchy about it. It's something that's more significant than people really realize. And so then like 3 years now that we've been involved with this, it's like, that's the focus. It's the beginning, just like what Terry said. And one of the things that Mooney and I, who is my upline, talked about, and I said to him, I said, Mooney, do the vegetarians and the vegans eat right for their blood type? And he said, no, Margaret. And so I said, that's a whole nother field where people just believe that doing the vegan, being a vegetarian, being a pescatarian or whatever, you're doing well. So there's so much that we're going to teach people. There's so much that we have lined up. The significance of it is I came from a previous network marketing company where we just killed it with a meal replacement shake. But guess what? It was a whey protein meal replacement shake. I was drinking it every day. I am not supposed to have whey as an old blood type. I lost 32 pounds, which I can't find. I mean, now people say, Margaret, you're too thin. I'm saying, I know, I'm trying to gain at least 7 pounds. But now I'm drinking our new fuel, because before that I changed to a pea protein. But now that we have a hemp protein, I have been drinking the shake every day now, and my appetite is under control, the sweetness, you know, the cheating, potato chips, the cheating is going away. My mom loves it, my sister tasted it today, and like Terry said, we have something, guys, that is so important for people to understand, and we're going to take the time to map it out. Where's Dr. Betty? Because Dr. Betty is one of the most informed people about how your body works. When she explains the bitters tea, the next time she does it, guys, make sure you're on that training. And just that, bye.
And she's a B blood. Our B blood, Dr. Betty, are you in the house? Where you at? Come on. We're gonna bring up B blood, Dr. Betty Bougie B. We don't have any ABs that are in the business tonight, though. So we got our Bougie B, Dr. Betty, and she's gonna share just a little bit about her experience. So, and talk about the bitters, baby. Tell them about the bitters. No, you're fine. Just talk to them. Talk to them. Keep it simple.
So, okay, so my story is that I've been a nurse all my life. Even when I was a little girl, the headaches, the animals, just bring them to Betty. My dad told my sister when I was about 12, he told her, and if you need to know something about birth control, ask Betty. So I went to practical nursing school when I was in high school. And then when I graduated from there, then I went to professional nursing school and I started working and I'm like, ooh, something is wrong with this picture. You know, all the technology, all the research, all the diagnostics and all of that kind of thing. And people are sicker than ever. And then I see people come in one way and come out another way. I'm like, something is really wrong with this picture. And trust me, I didn't mind bedpans, passing meds, doing dressing. I didn't mind any of that. But what I did mind is that I felt like I was not doing all that I could do for people to be healthier. So I decided I need to make a change. I need to find another way to help people because I knew there had to be something better than this. So anyway, I went into holistic healthcare. First, it was, I became a naturopath, which is similar to a chiropractor. Then I studied essential oils and just on and on and on until I got to energy. And energy medicine just blew my mind. And so when I met Wakana, I was blown away because people had been trying to get me into CBD. I was like, no. And the first meeting that I came to, the chief medical officer was talking about all the research that had been done and how the endocannabinoid system affected the body and its function. And I was like, what? And so I was in, like that day I signed up because it was like a missing piece to the puzzle of health. And over time, this company has evolved, really paying attention to what was going on with people, you know, and really how to make the most out of what we have. And at that time, it was CBD. The whole pandemic, you know, people were gaining weight, and that was one of our slogans, pandemic pounds. You want to get rid of them? And so that is really how we started out. But the goal has always been the same, and that was to help people reach a higher level of wellness. What else do you want to know?
And so now we're the bitters.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so anyway, the bitters, you know, I've got a lot of friends, they're vegetarians or they feel like they eat right and that kind of thing. But one thing is that most people do not cleanse. They don't know anything about it. And part of that is because we have evolved as in nuclear families. We left the South, you know, we left the old folks behind, the great grandparents that used to live with us, the grandparents that used to live with us. And, you know, you get that tablespoon of castor oil once a week at least. And now, Who knows about that? The young people certainly don't. And so, we keep shoving it in, and sometimes it's not even coming out on a regular basis. And people, the way our traditional Western medical model works is if you go to the doctor and you say, and they do their assessment, they say, well, how's your elimination? Oh, I go every other day or twice a week or, that kind of thing. They say, oh, well, that's normal for you. That's normal. No, it's not. It's not. If you watch an animal, they eat and they poop, and for many of us, we eat and 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 we eat. And every now and then we might drop a load. So that is not healthy, y'all. We got like 32 plus feet of intestine. You could lay it out from here to the end of this room. Now, what day did you last poop that much? Really? So, so really it's all still there. And that does come out, this just pushes some along and then you fill it up some more. And guess what? If you took a plate of food and you put it on the table and you left it for 3-4 days, what would you have? Right, exactly. Putrefaction. And that is what's happening on the inside. And that's why our poop stinks. So the purpose of the bitters is to help to cleanse some of that garbage out of our system. Because you know what, if you're constipated, especially, your body just keeps reabsorbing that waste because that's all that's in the colon where it sits waiting to be released. And so the body keeps reabsorbing the fluids from it. And that's why many times the people are constipated and they poop and it's these little balls, it's real hard. You got to sit there forever and 2 days waiting for it to come out. You know what I mean? And so that's what's happening. The body is reabsorbing those toxins and it's circulating in your body again, and your body is feeding off of that. You heard the saying, garbage in, garbage out. That's for real. And so the other thing about that is then that garbage is what your body has to build and repair cells. So how could they be healthy? Because cells make tissues and tissues make organs and organs make systems. Hence, garbage in, garbage out. You got dis-ease, you've got high blood pressure, you got diabetes. Bodies feed on garbage. So that's why when we start to cleanse our bodies with things like the bitters, then the body starts to wake up and say, "Ooh, I'm feeling better," and then we're at the same time, we're teaching you how to change your lifestyle, how to eat right. Even if you're going to eat meat, eat grass-fed meat, eat pasture-raised chicken and what have you. If you gotta eat it, eat the things that are healthy. And so as you learn these things, you start to see that, wait a minute, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling lighter. My bodily functions are maximized. And guess what? Many times what happens is that those diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes and the like, they start to balance themselves. We've got numerous people who have done the bitters cleanse as well as our 21-day raw or 7-day raw. And guess what? Most, if not all of them, either have decreased their medications or they're not even on medications anymore. And so, anyway, that's, so the bitters, again, they clean out the system, they clean out the crud and that old caked up stuff that is in the lining of the intestines that slows everything down. And it cleans that out, and the toxins, the excess mucus, the toxins and what have you are able to leave the digestive system. And then the digestive system tells the rest of the body, okay, y'all, you can release your toxins because now they got some place to go, like out. And it makes a heck of a big difference. That's it? That's it? Okay.
That's it. So we got our money's worth on that one, right? So the audience done went up, right? That was phenomenal, guys. I mean, listen, I mean, you just heard it from the best of the best. You've heard all these testimonials. So what more can I say? So I will close it by saying this. For the Zoom participants, of course, you want to get back with whoever invited you on the line tonight. So thank you guys for joining. We're now up to 31, so they've increased the numbers, right? But there's three types of people that always tune in. The first person says thanks, but no thanks. That person really may just be more interested in the product, and perhaps you want to start with something as simple as your blood type starter kit. Learn your blood type. If we know that we've been eating against our blood type, doesn't it make sense to clean our blood with the bitters, clean our colon out, get our fuel in our system? And so that's the blood type starter kit. The second person on the line, maybe you just have some questions. You want to get with the person who invited you, but have those questions answered. And the final person on the who's on the line, that's the person number 3. Okay, that's the person like I was. Immediately, when I recognized that this was so wide open, I saw that this was a massive opportunity. Sometimes you have an opportunity, not just have an opportunity, but a whale of an opportunity. So if you're looking at this from the perspective of, man, everybody on this planet has a blood type. Wow. So if we all have blood, that means we have 8 billion people in the world that might need to talk to you. In most companies, we're dealing with just weight loss, and not everybody's overweight. We're dealing with kidneys, but not everybody has kidney issues. We have an opportunity where literally every person on the planet needs what we have. And that's a powerful opportunity. So if you see that, and if you want to partner with us, you're what we call a person number 3. We'll show you how to get certified, because many of the ladies you spoke to tonight are certified in this, which means they're experts at what they do. And if you want to get to that level, we can do that. Or if you want to just go out and distribute products, we can help you with that as well. And so with that being said, get back with the person who invited you here. Let them know, are you a person number 1? More just focus on customers? Are you 2 with the questions? Or 3 because you see an opportunity? And with that being said, thank you so much for joining our second meeting, right? We will have a meeting next week, y'all, okay? And don't get me on the stilts, okay? I'm gonna be on that stilts, so I'm to the ceiling, okay? Because we're gonna put on a show next week, so y'all don't want to miss it. And so we're super excited. I don't have stilts for real, but no. These are stilts enough, right? And so with that being said, I know Crystal has some awesome cheesecake. So Bougie B Crystal, come on up to give them a shout out. Let them know anything they need to know about allergies, whatever with the cheesecakes.
Right, so y'all okay? Yes. So I have slices from my heart, gourmet vegan cheesecakes. I have plain, which is just regular, traditional. They're non-dairy, no dairy, no sugar. They're sweet with monk fruit, and I have vegan pineapple honey. So I have samples for everybody, and that's it. That's all. This is regular.
Okay.
And then this.
Yes. So. Yeah, so all that got turned out, and that's why people thought that. Right. So then you said, then what happened to that one?
Hey, y'all still on?
Okay. So
We're still on.
Yes, the Zoom is still on.
Hey guys, so we're done here.
Yeah,
You guys might have thought too, there's some kind of bitters. That's Tuesdays now. We have our live meeting, so that bitters is on Tuesdays. So we're clear.
Yeah. And I also have, just so y'all know.
Is this meeting gonna be every
Thursday.
Thursday at 7 o'clock.
In person, guys, if you're in Chicago, it's in person.
Okay, if not,
But if you're out of state, yes, it's on the Zoom.
okay, and we can invite everybody and anybody. Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Miss you. Bye for now, my number one, Shiro.
Thanks, Melissa.
Oh, thank you.
This was awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, and she, and look, she got
Thank you.
vegan. Oh, where's my cheesesteak at?
I got you.
Okay, thank you.
You heard her, right?
Where's mine, Crystal?
I know you should be here, girl. Sheila Shepherd said, where's mine, Crystal?
Hey, I got them. They right here. Y'all gotta come to Chicago.
Okay, I'm on my way.
Okay, it's Diana. Oh, wait, Diana, I'm not talking to you. I just thought about that.
Oh, girl, that's okay. Don't be a sore loser. I'm
Amazing,
gonna still love you.
amazing, Diane.
Those are kind of ridiculous, but I still love y'all.
Oh,
Mwah.
you know, it's gonna be all right.
Crystal.
Yeah, those are.
The boisterous bees.
Delicious beans. Go ahead back there. Okay, James.
This bee-
Yeah, you all here.
Oh,
Jackson.
you all don't know amazing when you see it. You just don't know amazing when you see it.
It starts with an A.
Oh, no, it's with, we are amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. O's eat dogs and cats.
We writing all the words. God love it. Amazing. I like that. Very good.
We do not eat dogs and
I,
cats, James.
right, let's tell them. What they doing? What was that about, right?
I know, right? He
Yeah, that
wanted one of those black jobs.
Right, exactly. You know, we're still trying to figure out, it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm a certified wellness coach. I like my black job.
I
I
know
know.
it's your own black job. We don't. So good stuff, guys. Well, this has been awesome and exciting. Every Thursday, we're gonna hang out here, and Dr. Betty will do the coaching on the blood types during her 7 o'clock. So the
So
7,
this will be 8 o'clock every Thursday.
yes, this will. So technically, we started at 7:30.
Okay.
So you can join us as early as 7:30. But every Thursday, yeah, we'll be right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then on Tuesdays, you get the training on blood types with Dr. Betty at 7 p.m.
And then we have a 1 o'clock on Wednesdays.
Yep, and then you have the 1 o'clock on Wednesdays, the
Okay.
hands and all that, yeah.
Great.
Well, again, this was amazing, and thank you, Dr. Betty. Awesome. Oh, just amazing, just amazing.
That's amazing.
It's just amazing.
You mean that be
No, no, you can be amazing if you like to be.
Bees.
Yeah, I'm still be amazing. I'm gonna
You
be
can be amazing.
Amazing.
amazing, right? Go ahead, girl. We gonna put some words together.
Oh, yeah. That's what we do. We win.
We
Well,
all
I'm
do.
doing my sweet potato quesadillas.
Mm,
Yes, ma'am. They so good.
too. Real. Sweet potato quesadillas.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
No, she's a.
We are amazing. We are
Because
amazing.
we are amazing.
Bougie, boisterous, built bodies.
Oh, if my bee in here messing with me.
Yes, tell them, I'm like, please.
Yeah, yeah.
My bee over in here messing with me.
Oh, that's right.
Look, brother, I still love you, but we just gonna be amazing this
Hey.
time. We just splitting up the team, but we'll come back together, okay?
Of course.
Okay.
Let's not take it personally when we win. Just know
Mm-hmm.
that we still love you, all right?
Boisterous, built
You'll be okay.
bees.
You will be all right.
Brave.
You'll be, you'll
And
be
y'all gonna be old and beat.
Okay.
good. We will be, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right.
Oh, right. That's right.
You'll be all right.
That is hilarious. We gonna have a ball with this, y'all.
As Buckwheat would say, okay.
I would definitely. Well, they say y'all are too funny. This is we need to bottle this up. This will be a documentary reality show. Because somebody today came here. They said y'all need a TV show. This should be all on film. I said we will. And all of you phenomenal people, whether it's James Mitchell, Diana, Ma Mitchell, everybody. You know, y'all need to be a part of that. Because y'all are
That's sounds good to me.
Oh, yes, we
Oh,
will.
Okay.
amazing, and you're okay.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
That's awesome.
You all will be all right. All right.
That's right. All right.
Yes, we will. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. What do they say? Good night, John Boy. Is Mary
Good
Ellen?
night, John Boy. Good night, John Boy. Good night, John
Love
Boy.
you all.
See you
Good
on the
night,
night.
John girl.
We
See
have
you on the
Oh,
on the
girl.
yeah.
That's right. Oh,
Good
oh.
night.
Oh.
Good night.
Right. Oh my God.